Hola, buenos dias. How are you all doing this morning? I am really grateful. That's how I am this morning. Grateful for rest because I need some of it. I need some rest. And I did not get a lot of sleep last night. I was up quite late, and that's all good and that's okay. Do a little bit of adjusting here. I don't know if that's it, but we'll see. So, yeah, I'm quite tired, but really grateful. No, it's the other way. All right, there we go. So in life, we go through seasons, meaning that we're going to experience so many different things in our life, and it's kind of like relationships too. If you think about relationships, they go through seasons. Work, career, sometimes we go through seasons with that. Sometimes we go through seasons with our families where we're really close and then things happen and we maybe feel a little distant. But I think we go through seasons in everything in life. I forgot to share with you my mug. We go through seasons, my darling. Like that dog's going through a season right now. He's about to get a knuckle sandwich. No, I'm just kidding. So, seasons and all of the different things that we experience cause us to feel many different things. And our body always follows the mind. And so a good indicator, if you are ever not sure quite how your mind is feeling, is to really tune in to your body. And in fact, perhaps even to do that on a regular basis. How does my body feel right now? Gets us out of our head. And I don't know about you, but I have that tendency to be in my head a lot and over analyzing a lot of things. And one of the best remedies for that is to slow down and really just kind of go inward and get in touch with your body. That helps me to identify kind of really where I'm at and what I'm feeling, because and maybe it's that athlete mentality or I don't know what, but I have that tendency to just ignore pain or struggle or whatever, just to go, like gas pedal. But instead to really slow down and really tune into my body. What is my body telling me? Today I was exhausted when I woke up. I didn't get a lot of rest. I know exactly why. I know exactly what my body is telling me about so many things that are happening in my world. And so because I'm able to slow down and tune into my body, whether it's your stress levels are rising, whether you're not rested, whether we start getting aches and pains or our stomach is upset, all of these things are indicators, and they're meant to help us really identify what's going on. I've realized also in coaching and working with so many people that identifying what you feel is not as easy as it sounds. I think about how often I've asked people, what is it that you're feeling? And of course it's quite cliche in my field, and I imagine in the field or work of many. Let's talk about how you feel. And it's sort of a funny meme even that comes up a lot. The truth is, it really is key, and it is the way into healing something, righting something, correcting something, balancing something, is to really understand how we feel. And the body is a great way to do that. If you have a practice that gets you deeply connected with your body, like meditation, some like yoga, some like breath work, all of these things are really important and powerful and really helpful. But to really get connected in, because oftentimes we actually don't even tune into what we're feeling or how we're feeling, and the body is essentially screaming at us by this time because we're not listening, we're not really tuned in, we're not slowing down or quiet enough. This is one of the reasons I really love meditation, because it's very I don't want to say counterintuitive, it's actually incredibly intuitive, but it's counter mind thinking. My brain goes a million miles an hour. Many people I know tend to do that, their brains. And so meditation literally requires you to really begin the practice of slowing down. And this is one of the reasons I get so many insights and I up-level my awareness, because I'm slowing down. I'm present to this moment. I'm not worrying about all the things that I need to get done in a day. I'm not focused on what the heck happened yesterday, or fear and just being overwhelmed and consumed with all of the reasons that we might want fear. And instead, I'm able to just slow down and really tune in. Speaking of the body, today, stand up, pull your shoulders back. One of the things that I love, as this just came up this morning with my group that I was leading through a workout, is that our posture is very indicative of many things. And we could go into some deep psychology on understanding the body, but for the sake of today, let's start simply and understand in a very basic and simple way how to really tune into and adjust our posture and why that matters. I want you to try something with me. If you're sitting like myself right now, I want you to collapse your shoulders and just relax. Or maybe you already were. And I just want you to sit here like this. And I want you to notice, pay attention to your breath. Is it a little harder to breathe with our lungs a little bit more collapsed or closed? With our belly, which is where our diaphragm exists, closed? How do you feel when you sit like this for a period of time, now that you're tuning into how you feel? Notice I have my gaze down as well, because my head is down, so naturally my gaze falls a little lower. Can you guys just notice any bit of feeling? Now, I stand and sit very upright regularly, so I can feel a massive difference in the two states of being. But if you notice, our mood tends to drop. Our frequency tends to lower. We are literally closing and restricting our air cavity, our chest, and our diaphragm, all of which we use for breath. And it is a depressive stature. And so how many times, especially if you're a parent, you tell your kids, hey, pull your shoulders back? I heard it a few times when I was little, but in all reality, I think I was so active and did so many things that my posture was a little bit more naturally upright. But I want you to think also, who else has a really upright posture? Who else doesn't collapse their posture? Confident people. People who believe in themselves. People who have a sense of pride, and not egotistical pride, but belief in themselves. It's common because that is the posture of openness and believing in yourself, or finding something to be proud of, in a sense. And so I do my best often, especially I spent so many years as a corrective exercise specialist, so really focusing on how to correct the posture of people, because I'm going to turn sideways for a second. This is what we have a lot of. We have a lot of forward head posture, which means the head's pulled down, really kyphosis, but really rounded back, and our hips tucked really under. This is what we have a lot of in our society right now. And that's because we're at computer screens all day, or we're reading on our phones, or our heads are staring down at our phones all day. And so as a result of that, naturally, it's putting us into a bit more of a depressive state oftentimes. It's very difficult to feel really, really good when you are collapsed and when your energy is really closed off. So one of the reasons I tell you when we meditate to sit upright, to open up and align all of your energy centers, to engage in your core, to pull your shoulders back. We are literally telling the body, open up. The mind is beginning to open, and so naturally the body wants to open. But I want you to think about, I want to give you a challenge. I want you to go throughout your day today, and even through the next couple of days. Okay, go through the next couple of days, and as often as you can, I want you to think about your posture. And especially when maybe an emotion comes up that is challenging, I want you to always feel what emotions you feel, because remember, emotions are teachers, and they're just indicating to us what's going on, and that we need to pay attention and where we need to pay attention. But I want you to pay attention to your posture and watch how your body follows suit depending upon how you think. If we're in a really poor state, if I am, as we might say, in a bad way, maybe I'm not feeling good, or I'm focusing on something that's not good in my world, or I'm thinking about an area where I'm struggling, and this carries on for a little while, you'll notice your body will follow this thinking. You'll also notice, imagine how people operate and move when they do this thing. They collapse. Hi, how's it going? And the shy look that people get. Essentially, we're trying to collapse and shield because we have some sense or need for protection. Maybe that person feels a lot of hurt or wounding, but certainly it's not a confident stature. I give some of my friends a hard time who have their hair hanging in their face like this. And I'm like, why are you hiding? You know, not to hide, but to be upright. And I want you to notice what happens when you tell your body to sit upright, to be open, to be engaged, how much it impacts the way that you go about your day. It's a lot. And so even just focusing on, let me pull my shoulders back, let me stand upright, let me connect to what my body is doing right now, and let me put my body in a position to invite in what I really want to do or how I want to show up. And so, for example, let's say you're going into an interview or something. You don't want to walk in like this, oh, hi, how's it going? When you're meeting somebody for the first time, naturally, you want to look them in their eyes. You want to smile. You want to shake their hand, and you want to be upright. One way to help do this is sometimes maybe people have a general sense of not believing in themselves a lot of the time. But to think of some things that you are really grateful for about yourself before engaging in any particular activity. Or if you catch yourself really slouching or folded or restricted, is to think about something about yourself that you appreciate. You don't have to go so far as to be like, I love myself, I'm the greatest human in the world. Listen, if you can rock that, rock the socks off of that. Shout that to the moon, I love it. But if you can't maybe say that, can you at least appreciate something about yourself? And enough somethings to where standing upright or sitting upright feels good, because you feel good about yourself. It can be anything, but you'll notice that it makes a huge difference when we align our bodies and our minds together. Open, not restrictive, expansive, and inviting in. It'll make a huge difference in all of your interactions. Most importantly, it makes a huge difference in your perception and understanding of yourself. So as often as you can, sit upright, stand upright, pull your shoulders back. And today we're going to go into a meditation on really developing the courage and confidence that comes along with that body posture. So find a space where you can sit upright if possible so that you can engage in this posture today. All right. Open-handed, open-hearted, and I hope you're sitting upright because that's part of your meditation today. So let's go ahead and begin sitting up. Let's go ahead and remember that we're going to breathe deeply into our diaphragm, expand, then expand in our chest. Then the rest of the air will flow out through the mouth. Long inhales, long exhales. Why breath? Because breath brings us right here, right to the present. Connecting to our breath connects us to our body. This is not separate from this. They work in conjunction, and if they don't, we have problems. So we want to continually focus on getting them in alignment. So breathing deeply in, remember expanding in our diaphragm. Be engaged with your body here. You can still be relaxed, but sitting upright. Breathe deeply in. Breathe in through your nose. Slowly and long, at least 6 seconds inhalation. And then slowly release. Just being with your breath for this moment, just being present right here. Don't worry about the rest of your day. Don't worry about all the things you need to do. Just be here. Focus on your breath. Good. Breathe deeply in. Just being mindful of your breath. Maybe even feeling your breath, the oxygen, the air entering in through your nose. And even feel the air come out of the body as you slowly exhale. Remembering that this is just about increasing our awareness and really gaining insights. Focus on your breath. Slow everything down. Just be present. Let the body know it's okay to release that stress by slowing your breath down. Let the body know it's okay to not be in that heightened sense of fear or stress where we restrict and all of the stress hormones release in the body. Breathe long and slow. Breathe deeply. Give the body permission to calm down and relax. Give your mind permission to slow down. Just breathe. Good. Breathing deeply in. Notice what comes up for you. Exhale, nice and long and slow. We're going to do one more big deep breath. Just truly being present. Breathe deeply in. Very good. Go ahead and be mindful to set up the soil you sit in as gratitude, a bed of gratitude, laying bricks of gratitude, whatever it is beneath us, the foundation beneath us. Build it out of gratitude. Maybe slowly fill yourself up with some gratitude. I am thankful for, I am grateful for. I'm grateful for life today. I'm grateful for my health today. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head today. Really line the walls of your being with gratitude. And as always, as we start our body scan, let's begin at the top of the head and let's start with opening up. Opening up that third eye, opening up that crown chakra, opening up that space where we recognize that we want awareness, expansion, and insight in order to be a better version of ourselves each and every day. Opening that up, inviting a heightened awareness today, and some very important insights. As we do our body scan, really tuning in to what our body is communicating. Notice in the head, is there any tension? Is there any stress? Are we clenching our jaw? Are we tightening our neck? Are we balling up? Breathe deeply in and relax. Allow the head to just gently rest upon the spine. Good. Moving down the body into the neck and shoulders. Do we notice that I'm carrying a lot of tension and knots here? Am I constantly shrugging and restricting in fear? Am I worried about what other people think? Am I restricting to make myself small because I'm afraid to take up space? Am I carrying the emotions of others upon my shoulders? Breathe deeply in, sitting upright and relaxed, and let it go. Allowing your arms to rest at your side. Allow your arms to communicate with you. Are they restful? Are they light? Are they holding only what is yours to hold, or are they carrying so much in life? Is your plate so full your arms are tired from holding it? Are your expectations so massive you're carrying fatigue? Moving down the body into the chest. Big, deep breath in, expanding the diaphragm and the chest. Notice if there's freedom of expansion, and maybe if you're sitting up even taller, notice that you can expand even more. How does it feel to really expand when you breathe? Do you notice your heart feels anything different? As we move down the body into the stomach and the lower back, the core of our physical body, how is our core? Is it strong? Is it engaged? Am I weak? Am I fatigued? Am I constantly dealing with some level of physical pain? Is my core really holding me sturdy and strong? As we move down the body into the hips, am I aware that I am deeply grounded and rooted? What am I deeply grounded and rooted in? Am I tight? Am I restrictive? Am I holding tension? Am I holding on to the past pain, traumas that constantly have me feeling uprooted? Are emotions associated with past pain continually showing up in my present life? Moving down the body into our legs and our feet. What does the body feel? What is it communicating? Breathe deeply in and let go. Become aware and attuned. How is my posture each day? What is my body communicating in the way that I carry myself each day? As you recall what is normal for you, maybe think of situations or a recent situation where you could feel yourself shrink. Do you notice when you become fearful or uncertain that you tend to restrict, that you tend to fold? Do you notice when you come around certain people that your posture begins to break and drop? Is your body struggling to be upright because your mind is playing loops of painful or demeaning thoughts that play over and over again, therefore leaving us feeling poorly about ourselves? When I struggle, do I restrict, fold, and collapse? Or do I breathe, elevate my position, elevate my body, and seek confidence, trust, and peace? Just becoming aware of what our body is communicating to us every single day. What would happen if I engaged in my physical body every day? If I pulled my shoulders back and stood a little taller? how would I feel? What comes up for you? When I get stuck in a loop or a thought pattern of negative thinking, of poor self-talk, what happens to my posture? What would happen if in the midst of becoming aware of that kind of talk, if I sat up, if I stood up, if I pulled my shoulders back, if I connected to my breath? Can you notice a difference in the way that you feel just visualizing yourself being more upright, being more engaged? And if you choose to remain restrictive, and if in moments where you struggle, you stay collapsed, folded in your posture, and your thoughts continue to swirl, what do you lose out on? What are you going to miss out on if you remain in that state? What are the things you miss out on for remaining in a restrictive, collapsed state? What are things you see people who carry themselves a different way having that you really want? Do they have confidence or self-belief? Are they more expressive with their love? Would you be more open and receptive to love? Would you be more willing to share love? Would other people receive you differently if you show up with a confident posture? Would you step into different things or choose different things in your life as a result of elevating your posture, being aware of choosing appreciation for yourself each moment? What do you gain if you open and expand in mind and in body? What will happen in your relationships? What will happen in your work? What will happen in your family? What will happen in your spirituality? And maybe even we become aware of the things that we fear when we lift our shoulders and lift our head and align our bodies. Maybe inside of pondering what happens in a good way, what comes up instead is fear of rejection or judgment. And then what would happen if I chose not to internalize that? What would happen if I chose not to worry about what others thought? What would happen if I decided to tap into my own gratitude and my own joy, my own connection to Source, so that whatever others thought didn't impact me deeply? What would happen if I focused on the beauty that comes from being upright and confident and open and strong? Would I invite in more of what I really want to align with? Would I change my frequency to attune to something greater? Am I ready to let go of the lower frequency choices and maybe even people in my life in order to expand and open? What comes up for you in becoming aware of shifting? take a moment now to envision yourself sitting or standing upright. Imagine your whole spine aligned as it ought to be. From the top of the spine all the way to the base, healthy natural curve, and our body around it aligned. Imagine what it feels like for the lungs to be open and the shoulders to be back, for the heart to have room to expand. Imagine what it feels like to see the reflection of belief in you from others because you believe in yourself. Imagine the different connections and conversations. Do I become more pleasant to connect to because I carry myself differently? The same way others who carry themselves this way are more pleasant to connect to. Do I invite in healthier connections? Can I see new possibilities just simply acknowledging a sense of worth and elevating my body to follow that knowledge? Maybe in this moment you can become deeply aware of why it is important to know your worth. If you knew your worth, how would you stand? If you knew your worth, how would you sit? If you knew your worth, how would you parent? If you knew your worth, how would you show up at work? If you knew your worth, how would you show up for your friends? If you knew your worth, how would you show up for your family? If you knew your worth, what would you attempt to do? If you knew your worth, would you get back up when you failed? If you knew your worth, would you keep going? One decision at a time in life towards what you truly wanted, if you knew your worth. Breathe deeply in. Let go. Slowly exhaling. As you breathe deeply in, feel what it feels like to expand and notice how different the body feels with more awareness. Exhale, letting go. Breathing deeply in. Notice if there is a difference in self-belief, self-awareness, self-love. And exhale, letting go. Breathe deeply in with great gratitude for the insights today. Exhale, letting go. We're going to do one more deep breath, and I want you to expand as much as you possibly can within your being. Breathe deeply in, welcome in that air, open up, open the body up, open the heart, open the mind. And exhale, letting go. Woo-wee! How's that sit with you? I hope it sits well. How do you feel? Do you feel different? Do you feel better? Do you notice that when you pay mind to your body, you immediately shift the connection? Sometimes we might feel or notice that the mind starts talking about the body, and maybe it's unwellness. The beauty in recognizing if there is unwellness in our bodies is that we can change it. But the beauty in recognizing the difference we feel in even just a slight shift is huge. I'd love to hear, how was this for you? And what did you notice? What came up for you about your body? What came up for you about your posture? Did you notice negative tapes? Did you notice how much better it felt being aware and attuned to a completely different frame? Wow, Katie. She said the pain that I had in my back and legs are gone. Telling you, people don't know how powerful we are. The body follows the mind. Make no mistake about it. Good for you. That's incredible. It's amazing what happens when we make different decisions. It's amazing what happens when we know our worth. How many things in our life shift and move just at that truth. That's why I say it at the end of every video, and it seems like a very common or fluffy thing to say, but I really mean it genuinely and truly, that it is life-changing if you allow it to be. Trella, that was awesome. I feel great. Your meditations have helped me deepen my connection. The grounding technique and body scan have been super helpful. I love that too, Trella. They've really helped me also really be connected with my body. We get sometimes in life so disconnected from our bodies because of so many dis-eases and or our self-loathing. We don't want to be connected to our bodies because we don't think good or well towards our bodies, and that creates this sense. There's no separation. You can't be separate from your body unless you're in other realms, and that's a whole different meditation. But we're here. This is our vessel we get to move around in, and so we want to connect to it, and we want to listen, and we want to work in concert, our mind and our body and our spirit. I love that. It's very helpful for me to just be aware of my posture. And I will tell you that for the most part, it is a habit for me now in my life. But absolutely there are times when I'm not loving myself deeply. And I can tell you that my posture is poor because the body follows the mind. And so simply tuning into it more will allow you to notice how we can shift this connection and what we need to change about it. So maybe it doesn't seem like a big deal, but sitting upright or standing upright and pulling your shoulders back changes a whole lot every single day. And maybe at first, if you're not used to it, you get a little bit of aches and pains. That is your body waking up. That is your body waking up. But we want it awake. Wake it up. Wake up your mind-body connection. Stand up tall. Begin practicing the stance and physical positioning of self-love and self-belief, and watch what happens in your day. I hope you have an amazing day today. I'm so grateful that you joined me here, or whether you watch this later another day. As always, and maybe every time you get a little more clear on why I say this, but please today and always know your worth.